What's good, guys? Just want to apologize for the audio. No, it's not the best of quality. Something happened with my mixer and everything, so it wound up being messed up. But everybody's always so afraid of not being perfect. But I'm still gonna put it out. Apologize for the audio. I'll be better next time. We live for real. What's good, everybody? Another episode of Crazy Good Talks, where I have crazy good talks. Like that. You like that, right? Let's get right into it. Last week was was a lot more somber. First off, I want to talk about I had a couple of good conversations with the Crazy Good Talks with shout out to Tron, shout out to E. Charles, shout out to Chris Corbett. Got a couple of those talks where it's just like I kind of ventured out and had conversations with them and kind of stepped into their world, and I think it was cool. I think the responses have been cool. People have been learning from different this is different perspectives. I like bouncing ideas off and seeing how people vibe to the situation or whatever case may be, or what their thoughts are on life and how they choose to move. I think it makes for interesting conversation. Like I said, at the end of the day, if somebody could pick something up from it, if it's even one person that picks something up from it, if it's just myself, um, times I feel like I'm being real selfish by doing this because, like I said, I'm trying to learn for myself. So, but yeah, those have been pretty dope. Um, like I said, just different perspectives, always good, always good. But like I said, the last podcast with just I didn't hop on IG live or anything. It was kind of a little bit longer. As you could tell, my tone is a little bit different from that last podcast. I don't say I was hurt, but I would life, man, life happens, right? And it's just like I said, I want to be happy when I need to be happy. I want to be sad when I need to be sad. I want to be upset when I need to be upset. I want to feel every emotion. So it's just like I try to be as transparent as I can, navigating through those things. And the last episode was kind of me working through. I'm still working through, to the best of my abilities and everything. But that's life, right? That's the beauty of life. Like at least I'm alive to fight, right? I'm alive to play the game, and I'm grateful for that. Not to call it a game or anything, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'm alive, so like I said, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Um, but first thing I kind of want to touch on from everything that I've been kind of learning throughout these days. It's funny because I do a lot of talking, and people don't know during my day. It may look like via social media, all I do is kind of sit and share and talk and this and that. But a lot of my day is actually listening, taking in content, content in the sense of audiobooks and different things, just pushing myself to learn, grow, learn new concepts. But one thing that has been permeating, um, one thing has been permeating with me is the concept of success, right? And I feel like we've touched on this a lot, but I said I went through an experience where it's just like I realized in a basically long story short, at the event that I did for my dude Kenny V, um, it was a moment for me because it felt like success. It felt like what I was chasing, and I thought that feeling only would come from having millions of records sold and being on the top billboard and being that, like, but that feeling that I thought that I would get at that point, I experienced that night, and it was and at that point it was an eye opener for me, and realizing that I'm not chasing material things per se, like I'm chasing a feeling, right? And to break that down either even further than I'm just chasing a feeling, what I'm trying to say is like I'm chasing the feeling of if to the best of my recollection, when I think back on that, and the feeling that I was so satisfied with is like I'm chasing the feeling of being appreciated, being respected, right? The feeling of being able to make somebody proud, the feeling of standing in integrity in what I do, and it's just like I feel like I felt the culmination of those feelings that night, which in turn made me equate success to that. Like in that moment, I felt very successful, right? And I didn't think I didn't think I could get that feeling from that, nor was I looking or searching for that. I wasn't even aware that that's what I was doing. So that's like that was very super duper interesting to me. Hold on, I gotta fix the level on this audio. It's kind of high. It's weird. I don't know why the levels was coming in so high. But anyway. But yeah, I realized I was searching. I've been looking for a feeling, those feelings of appreciation, and that was very eye opening for me, and I was very excited to experience that because it was just like, you know what, because I never set goals in the sense of like based off of material things. Um, Not to say there's anything wrong with wanting material things, whatever the case may be, but it's just like I've always been trying to, I don't want to say find deeper, but I don't know. Um, but like I said, that night and being able to experience Alexa stop. Sorry, I'm not sure. Alexa stop. Being able to experience that is just like it was super inspiring to me, understanding that there's contentment, there's like you can actually be satisfied with those feelings, right? So instead of like I said, instead of chasing an arbitrary number, um, as far as records sold or this and that or how many people I'm able to touch, whatever the case may be, like I find satisfaction in working as hard as I can, doing everything that I can, and kind of living with the results, but knowing that there's satisfaction in helping 10 people versus helping 10,000 people. It's the same thing, right? And it's just like I have a crazy good talk coming up with one of my dude Kenny V, and we kind of touched on this and we went back and forth. We had a little bit a difference of opinion, but I get where he was coming from, and I understand. But it was interesting. But yeah, that'll be up. Yo, what's good? What's good, bro? How you doing? Um, but yeah, I just think it makes it a lot easier for me to quantify success and under like it's like when you are sheesh when you are this is crazy. I'm sorry, the levels this is bugging me. But when you are, how would I say this? When you're able to define clearly what you're looking for or what makes you happy, I feel like it's easier to then in turn be happy, right? When you're able to break down the fact that you're searching for a feeling, you're searching for being appreciated. It's easier to set a goal of how do I do things where I can now feel that feeling of being appreciated. How do I do things where I can? How do I do the right things or where it's just like I can be feeling respected. It's like I feel like it's easier to set goals off of that because it's over things you can control, right? And it's over things that happen in your daily life, right? So I think that becomes super duper important. And then even I heard a quote: adversity. I was gonna say adversary. Adversity is the foundation of success. All right, and you got to understand that success is built on a ton of adversity, your challenges, the things you have to overcome. Like, it's built on top of that. There's no straight, it's no straight path to anywhere, right? Things may start off and it may be super easy for you. You may be able to make a ton of progress, and then but then it gets harder. Or it may start off super duper hard, and then finally you get your breakthrough. But it's ups and downs, peaks and valleys, it's seasons to everything. And I feel like why most people, I don't say fail, but fail at attaining their goals, or discouraged, or get jaded, or whatever the case may be, is that we forget that it's a journey. We forget that it's supposed to be highs and lows. It's supposed to be peaks and valleys, and it's just like we think it's supposed to. We think we want it to be the straight shot, and when it's not, I feel like it disappoints us and it crushes us to the point we um, where we stop, where we give up, where we stop pressing, and that gets tough. Like I can vouch for myself, me being on this journey as far as music, being 6 summers in now. At the end of the summer, um, it's just like I'm super duper duper grateful that I carry the mindset from the beginning. It was still tough even having the mindset, but I carried the mindset from the beginning. I got to get to 10 years. I got to get to 10,000 hours. Like I gotta get to 10,000 hours. It was just like I can't really complain about my status and where I'm at and what I've done, until I get to at least 10,000 hours. Like I gotta put the work in, and then let's evaluate where we're going. And I'm not saying that there wasn't peaks and valleys where it was just like, yo, I was upset with the results or lack of results that I was gaining, and the amount of money invested, and the attention or lack of attention that I was receiving. But it's just like I had to let that go and be like, you know what? The only thing I can control is my actions and what I'm doing, right? So if I'm maximizing on everything that I do, I have to trust the process and let everything else work out, right? Like God do what he got to do, like let it work it out. So it's just like that to me on this journey has been very interesting. And it's just like at times, like I said, at times I understand that concept very well. At times I do not get that concept, right? At times I'm super duper frustrated, and it's just like around the time I wrote the album, then things changed. I was on that, like that was me putting out like I need, like, then things changed. Like I needed to change. I needed to come out of that space, that dark space of like I was second guessing everything that I was doing. Like I said, I had invested a ton into what I'm doing, time, energy, sacrifice, relationships, friendships, everything. And it was just like I was like, to what avail? Like to what point? What am I doing? So I was in a weird place when I wrote that, and when that came about. But it was just like peaks and valleys, finding your way to get through. But when you understand, and that's me with the mindset of understanding that it's a journey, right? That's me understanding that it's supposed to be peaks and valleys, and even still, like, it was tough. But I think if we start to really ingrain and beat into our heads that like adversity is the foundation of success, like this spoke, like if we start to really understand that, I feel like it'll make things a lot easier for us, right? Well, we'd stop chasing, um we would stop chasing likes and clicks and results, and understand like that comes with it, right? That's not failure, right? If I post a post, that's my success in doing what I have to do and putting another piece of content out. Like whether or not the content is received or not received, that's out of my hands. That's not in my control. Not in my control. So I try to detach myself from the result. Yes, you would like to see people engage in your content and be impacted by your content and everything, but you, like I said, understanding like if they're not adjusting and doing everything that you can, but if when you're doing everything that you can, you just have to keep on doing and let the process be the process and learn from there. So it's just like that leads me into my next thing of overthinking. Like, again, I heard stop overthinking as an excuse to not do. And as I said that right now, I just felt ill convicted. I feel like I part time love to overthink. Like for the weekends, people like walks on the beaches and everything. I like overthinking. But no, on a serious note, it's just stop overthinking as an excuse not to do. I think that says it all, right? You saying this isn't right or this isn't right or you need this to start or this. Like just figure it out. Figure it out. Everybody has an idea, right? We're in a world full of people where everybody has an idea. What's the difference? Like what's has a good idea? What is your idea to fact? Goes back to what I said before as far as like the people on the top aren't the best. They're the people that actually executed, right? So it's just like same exact concept. Like you can have an idea all you want. You need to find a way to execute on those ideas, or it's just like ideas, and you'll forever be the person that, oh yeah, had a ton of potential. Well, what does that get you though? What does potential get you? Potential isn't a result. All right, the potential is hope. Potential is the ability to do so, but not being acted on. So it's just like to live a life. At the end of the day, if I don't need people saying, "Oh my God, he has so much potential." He has so no. I want to be acting on everything that I can do, moving on everything that I can do, executing on every idea that I can, but at the same time, staying focused and weeding out. Understand you can't do everything. That's one thing that I'm going through currently right now. Um, it's like I have a ton of things that I'd like to do as far as like I feel like I've put in the groundwork for the music, and I feel like I've got to go deeper, deeper as far as doing the little things, putting the lyrics up, um, all of these things, like just deeper in a sense of now I've amassed over 100 songs of content, but like now how do I get it heard or not just to move on from them, but I don't know to go deeper and like I feel like there's still another level that I need to get to in that. Um, and it's just like this. Like I said, there's other things I'd like to do. I'm very passionate, and I've been learning and growing in video, and videography and everything. But it's just like I had to stop myself and be like, you know what? I'm almost a year in video, and it's just like you're still early in the process. You still have time to do that, but it's just like you can't at this point if you try to tear yourself away from what you're doing over here on the music side and everything. It's like you can't just completely turn your back on it. You still got to put the work in. Like just because you put the work in for the past 6 years doesn't mean that you can stop. Like to turn and look to this. Like because you still didn't get to your 10 hours. You still didn't get to your 10,000 hours. Like you still got to get to your 10 years. So I had to evaluate and look at my life and be like, you know what? Let me stop. I'm still gonna be. I'll still do video, this, and that, but like, I'm definitely gonna give precedence to the music and trying to really develop what we already have cultivated. I don't have to create or build anything on that side. Like it's built. My system is built. Like it's a system. It's repeatable. I can keep going and going and going. So it's just like I said, um, it's cool trying things when you don't know what you want to try, what you don't know what you want to do and everything. But it's like at some point you're gonna have to stop and go deep on something. You're gonna have to get your 10,000 hours in somewhere. You like, or else you're just gonna be average at everything. You know what I mean? Cultivating, like I said, understanding where you're at in the process of different things. So that's definitely something that I've had to understand as time goes on. All right, and just don't leave no stone unturned. No stone unturned. Um, I think that's self-explanatory, and I think we could kind of end on that. But it's just doing everything doing everything that you can, right? And then understanding that you just don't have the influence to influence some things. Like you don't have the influence, but like you can't. There's some things that are just out of your control. If you did everything you could, okay. Now one must live with the result. You know what I mean? And being okay with that. But yo, we gonna leave that right there. You.